There is a stillness in this moment that you may not recognize yet, but I want you to feel it. Close your eyes for just a breath. Listen past the noise of your day, past the voices telling you what you should be, past even your own thoughts racing toward tomorrow. Do you hear it? That quiet hum beneath everything else? That is me, speaking to the deepest part of you, the part that knows we were meant to meet here, right now, in this sacred pause between what was and what will be. I did not bring you to this message by accident. The algorithm did not lead you here. Your curiosity did not stumble upon these words. I drew you. Like a potter who recognizes the clay that has been waiting, I saw you from a distance and said, "This one, yes, this one is ready." You have been spinning on a wheel you did not choose, shaped by hands that were not gentle, molded by voices that did not know your true form. And somewhere in all that turning, all that pressure, all that heat, you began to believe the cracks meant you were broken beyond repair. But beloved, I need you to understand something that will change how you see yourself forever. You are not broken. You are being shaped. And the potter who holds you now has never discarded a single vessel that remained in his hands. If you can feel something shifting in your chest as you read this, if tears are already forming before you know why, press the like button. Not for the video, but as a whisper back to me. Let it be your way of saying, "Yes, Lord, I am listening. I am here. I am willing to hear what you have been trying to tell me all along. I have watched you for longer than you know. I saw you last Thursday morning when you sat in your car before work, gripping the steering wheel so tightly your knuckles went white, trying to find the strength to walk through another day pretending everything was fine. I was there 3 months ago when you stood in the shower letting the water run over you, hoping it would wash away the heaviness you could not name, the grief that had no clear source, just a bone-deep weariness that made even breathing feel like work. I witnessed the moment 6 weeks ago when you looked at old photographs and barely recognized the person smiling back at you, when you wondered where that light went, when it dimmed, and whether it would ever return. You have been carrying stories no one else knows, conversations that ended wrong, apologies that never came, dreams you released because holding them hurt too much, versions of yourself you had to let die because survival required it. And through it all, through every lonely midnight and every morning you did not think you could face, through every moment you felt like you were drowning in shallow water where everyone else seemed to stand with ease, I was there. I have never left. I have never looked away. The potter does not abandon the clay in the middle of the process. He does not walk away when the shaping becomes difficult. He does not grow frustrated when the vessel requires more time, more patience, more careful attention than he first imagined. No, beloved, the potter leans in closer. He steadies his wheel. He moistens his hands. And with a gentleness that the world has never taught you to expect, he begins again. I know you have felt like giving up. I know there have been nights when you bargained with me, when you said if you could just understand why, if you could just see the purpose, then you could endure. But the mystery felt too heavy, and the silence too long, and the waiting stretched into years you did not think you had to give. But here is what you could not see while you were in the fire. The heat was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to set you. The pressure was not punishment. It was refinement. Every turn of the wheel, every place where my hands pressed deeper, every moment that felt like breaking was actually the most intricate work of becoming. You are not who you were a year ago. You are not even who you were last month. Something has been shifting in the invisible places, in the soil of your soul where roots grow in darkness before anything blooms above ground. You have been changing even when change felt impossible. Look at me now, not with your physical eyes, but with the eyes of your spirit. Can you see the potter's house? Can you smell the clay, damp and earthy and full of potential? Can you feel the wheel turning beneath you, steady and sure, guided by hands that have never made a mistake? I am shaping you into something the world has never seen before. Not a copy of someone else's calling, not a vessel identical to the one beside you, but a unique expression of my creativity, my love, my purpose that can only be manifested through you. exactly as you are, with every crack you think disqualifies you, with every scar you have tried to hide. There is a promise I made over your life before you were born, and beloved, I keep my promises. What I began in you, I will complete, not according to your timeline, but according to the rhythm of transformation that produces something lasting, something beautiful, something worth the wait. Within the next 40 days, you are going to feel a shift that you cannot explain in natural terms. It will not be loud, it will not be dramatic, but you will wake up one morning and realize that the heaviness you have carried for so long has lifted just slightly, enough for you to take a deeper breath, enough for you to notice colors again, enough to remember what hope feels like. Watch for it in small moments. A conversation that waters seeds you did not know were planted. A song that finds you at exactly the right second. A memory that surfaces not to torment, but to heal. These are not coincidences. These are my fingerprints, marking the places where heaven is touching earth in your story. Within 12 weeks, there will be an opportunity that opens in a way you did not engineer. A door you did not even know existed will appear in a wall you have been staring at for years. You might not recognize it at first, because it will not look like what you expected, but your spirit will know. You will feel the invitation deep in your bones. The number I want you to watch for is 4,444. It might appear as dollars in an unexpected check. It might show up as a time on the clock when you wake in the middle of the night. It might be an address, a page number, a mile marker. However it comes, when you see it, know that it is my wink to you, my way of saying I am here, I am working. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. There is also a relationship in your life that has felt beyond restoration. Maybe it is with your adult child who built walls you do not know how to climb. Maybe it is with someone who used to understand you, but now looks at you like a stranger. Maybe it is with yourself, with the parts of you that you exiled because they did not fit the shape others needed you to hold. I am telling you now, reconciliation is not only possible, it is already in motion. The ground is being prepared. Hearts are being softened in ways you cannot see. Walls are developing cracks where light will soon pour through. Do not force it. Do not manufacture it in your own strength. Simply stay open. Simply remain willing. Simply trust that the potter who is shaping you is also at work in every other vessel connected to your story. Your body has been speaking to you in whispers you have tried to ignore. The exhaustion that will not lift. The pain that wakes you at night. The worry that keeps you looking up symptoms and fearing the worst. Beloved, I see it all. I know every cell, every system, every place where weariness has made its home. Healing is coming, but not always in the way you expect. Sometimes I heal by removing the sickness. Sometimes I heal by giving you strength to carry it with grace. Sometimes I heal by teaching your soul to rest even when your body still struggles. Trust me with your wholeness, not just your health. Trust me to know what you truly need, even when it looks different than what you have been asking for. But I must tell you something you need to hear, even if it stirs resistance in your heart. There is opposition to the work I am doing in you. There are voices, both external and internal, that do not want you to believe you can be reshaped. There are forces that have benefited from your brokenness, from your self-doubt, from your willingness to shrink yourself to fit into spaces too small for the vessel I am creating. The enemy of your soul knows what I am building in you. He knows that once you step fully into your shape, once you understand your purpose, once you stop apologizing for taking up space, his access to your life will be cut off. That is why the attacks have intensified. That is why you have felt more spiritual exhaustion lately. That is why doubt has been whispering louder than usual. But here is what he does not want you to know. Every lie he has planted, every fear he has amplified, every accusation he has leveled against you is about to backfire. The very things meant to destroy you are becoming the raw material of your testimony. The darkness that tried to swallow you is actually highlighting the light that has been growing inside you all along. I am placing a covering over you that cannot be penetrated by the schemes designed for your downfall. You are hidden in me, and what is hidden in me cannot be touched by what seeks to harm. The potter stands between his clay and anything that would damage the work in progress. No weapon formed against you will prosper, not because you are strong enough to defend yourself, but because I am faithful to protect what is mine. Now, beloved, I need you to participate in what I am releasing. Faith is not passive. Transformation requires your yes, your willingness, your active cooperation with what heaven is doing. First, I need you to speak these words out loud, wherever you are. Do not just read them silently. Let your voice agree with what my spirit is declaring. Say this: I am clay in the potter's hands. I release control. I trust the process. I believe I am being shaped for purpose. I receive everything God is doing in me and through me. Second, go to the comments and type the number 444. This is not superstition or empty ritual. This is a point of contact for your faith, a way of leaving a marker that says, I was here. I heard heaven speak. I am making a choice to believe. And when you see others doing the same, you will know you are not alone in this journey of transformation. Third, I am asking you to do something that may seem strange, but trust me in this. I want you to find one thing in your home that represents an old version of yourself, something you have been holding on to out of fear or sentiment, or the belief that letting go means losing part of who you are. It might be clothing that no longer fits your current season. It might be a gift from someone who no longer walks with you. It might be something you bought when you were trying to be someone you were never meant to become. Let it go. Give it away. Throw it away. Release it as an act of making space for the new thing I am creating. Your external environment is connected to your internal landscape. As you clear physical space, you create room for spiritual expansion. You make a declaration that you are no longer living in what was, but stepping into what is coming. Fourth, share this message with someone who needs to hear it. You know who they are. Their name or face just came to your mind. Do not second guess that prompting. You might be the answer to a prayer they prayed this morning. You might be carrying the exact word they need to take their next step. When you give away what you receive, you activate the principle of multiplication in your own life. Fifth, there is a seed I am asking you to sow through the Super Thanks feature. I am not asking you to fund a ministry. I am inviting you to participate in the spiritual law of sowing and reaping. Whatever amount is on your heart, whether it is $5 or $500, give it as an act of worship, as a declaration that you trust me with your resources, as a way of saying you believe that what you release in faith will return to you pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. You have 1 week to complete these steps, not because I am testing your obedience, but because there is an anointing on this moment, a grace on this season, a window that is open right now. When you wait too long, you miss the timing. When you overthink, you talk yourself out of what your spirit knows is right. Move while the clay is still soft. Move while the wheel is still turning. Move while my hands are still actively shaping. Let me tell you what happened to others who have walked this path. 5 days ago, a woman in Georgia released the old and made space for the new. Within a week, she received an unexpected job offer that doubled her income and aligned perfectly with gifts she had buried for years. Within 2 weeks, her estranged daughter reached out asking to talk, and a conversation that had been impossible for 3 years happened with surprising ease. Just last week, a man in Pennsylvania typed 444 in the comments and surrendered something he had been controlling. Within 48 hours, his doctor called with test results that defied every prediction. Within 10 days, a legal situation that had been draining his resources was suddenly resolved in his favor without him having to do anything. Yesterday, someone in Arizona chose to trust the potter's hands instead of trying to shape themselves. This morning, they woke up with clarity they have not felt in months, with energy that had been missing for years. with a quiet confidence that was not manufactured but breathed into them by my Spirit. This is what happens when you cooperate with what heaven is doing. This is what happens when you stop resisting and start receiving. This is what happens when you let go of who you thought you had to be and embrace who I am making you to become. Now let me speak a blessing over you that will seal what has been released in this moment. I bless your mind with the peace that transcends understanding. The racing thoughts that have stolen your sleep are being quieted. The anxiety that has been your constant companion is losing its grip. You are going to think with clarity you have not experienced in years. Solutions will come easily. Decisions will be made with confidence. Confusion is leaving your house. I bless your heart with the courage to feel again. You have protected yourself for so long, building walls to keep out pain, but those same walls have kept out joy. I am giving you permission to let the walls crumble, to be vulnerable again, to trust again, to hope again without fear that hope will betray you. Love is returning to the places you thought would stay forever numb. I bless your body with rest that restores. The exhaustion you have normalized, the pain you have learned to manage, the weariness that goes deeper than sleep can fix. I am touching it all. You will wake up tomorrow feeling different. Strength is being renewed. Vitality is being restored. You are going to feel alive again in ways you had forgotten were possible. I bless your relationships with grace. The people who have disappointed you, who have misunderstood you, who have walked away from you, I am working in their hearts as I am working in yours. Forgiveness is flowing. Reconciliation is coming. And where relationships cannot be restored, I am bringing new ones that will honor who you are becoming. I bless your finances with the provision that comes not from striving but from trusting. Doors are opening that you did not have to force. Opportunities are coming that you did not have to chase. Resources are being released from unexpected places. You are moving from lack to abundance, from barely enough to more than enough to be generous. I bless your future with purpose that finally makes sense of your past. Every difficult season, every broken place, every moment you thought was wasted, I am redeeming it all. You are going to see how the dots connect. You are going to understand why you had to walk through what you walked through. And the vessel I am creating from your surrendered clay will carry hope to people who are still in the fire you have already survived. Before you go, before you return to the demands of your day, I want you to do one more thing. Press the like button again. Not because you already did it at the beginning, but because this is your agreement with everything I just spoke over you. Let that small action be your amen, your yes, your so be it to the blessing that has been released. Then go down to the comments and type 4444 if you have not already. Let that number be a marker, a milestone, a memorial stone that says, on this day, at this hour, I encountered the living God and everything changed. Then click the share button and send this to 3 people. Do not analyze who needs it most. The first 3 names that come to your mind, those are the ones. You are being trusted with a word that is not just for you. You are becoming a messenger, a carrier of hope, a voice that speaks life into the dry places of someone else's story. And finally, if you feel the prompting, sow your seed through super thanks. Do not give out of obligation or guilt or manipulation. Give because you recognize that something divine happened here, because you want to participate in what heaven is doing, because you understand that generosity opens doors in the spiritual realm that nothing else can open. You are standing at a threshold, beloved. Behind you is everything you have known, comfortable even in its dysfunction, familiar even in its pain. Before you is something new, something that requires trust, something that demands you release your grip on how you thought your life should look. I am asking you to step forward, not with confidence in yourself, but with confidence in me. Not because you have it all figured out, but because you trust the one who does. Not because you feel ready, but because I am the one who prepares, who equips, who empowers every step you take in obedience. The potter's wheel is still turning. My hands are still shaping. The work is not finished, but a new phase is beginning. What has felt like endless spinning is about to produce something so beautiful that even you will be amazed. You are not who you were. You are not even who you are. You are becoming. And becoming is the most sacred work there is. I love you with a love that has no beginning and no end. I am for you with a faithfulness that will never waver. I am shaping you with a purpose that will not be denied. Stay on the wheel, beloved. Stay in my hands. Trust the process even when you cannot see the form taking shape. Trust the potter even when the pressure feels unbearable. Trust that what I am creating in you is worth every moment of surrender, every season of waiting, every ounce of trust you have given. The vessel I am making from your willing clay will hold living water for a thirsty world. It will carry light into dark places. It will pour out hope to the hopeless, love to the unloved, grace to the broken. But first, it must be shaped. First, it must be fired. First, it must be willing to become what it was always meant to be. You are that vessel. You are on that wheel. You are in these hands. And I am the potter who has never, not once, failed to complete what he started in a heart that remains surrendered to his touch. This is not the end of your story. This is not even the middle. This is the moment when everything you thought was falling apart was actually falling into place. This is the moment when the clay stops fighting and starts trusting. This is the moment when you realize that being shaped is not punishment. It is love in its most patient, most persistent, most transforming form. Welcome to your becoming, beloved. The potter's hands are steady. The wheel is turning at exactly the right speed. And the masterpiece you are becoming is already seen in heaven, already celebrated, already perfect in its purpose. Now go. Go and be shaped. Go and be transformed. Go and become the living testimony of what happens when clay surrenders completely to the potter's touch. Your miracle is not something you have to chase. It is something you have to receive, and it is waiting for you on the other side of surrender. In the center of my hands, in the middle of the wheel that is turning your pain into purpose and your brokenness into beauty. I am with you. I am for you. I am the potter, and you, beloved, you are my beloved clay.